In a dusty, dark canyon, somewhere south of Santa Fe, one summer morn, in the shadow of hell, my life forever changed. I was with my buddy Bobby and his trusted brother Dan, and we was rustling up lost cattle who from the ranch took flea and ran, when suddenly above the desert hills was the strangest spiteful sight, about 1,000 tons of mean-ass metal blazing with the devil's light. Now Dan was struck with terror, and like a little girl he screamed, and from the demon ship at its glowing heart shot an iridescent beam. The demon light nailed Dan into our astonishment and horror. His head and torso left his lower half and showered us with gore. Dan's horse took it off like a derby stud, holding only legs and butt, and Bobby and I sat in frozen shock, covered head to toe in guts. The demon ship then hurried our way, and Bob and I rode fast, not away from the ship and its mean-ass metal, but toward its hulking mass. We pulled our pistols and fired away. What we struck we do not know, for that ship was fast as a hummingbird, but even dumber than a crow. It slammed headfirst into mountain rock and came crashing with a thud, and like lions after a wounded gazelle, Bob and I could smell their blood. We rode quick up on that flaming hawk and prepared to greet the devil, when suddenly, to our utter shock, the nightmare grew to a whole nother level. Out of the sky flew Jesus Christ on a winged horse of light. He swooped straight down like a bat out of hell and laughed at the awful sight. He saw that ship and its flaming wreck and rolled his eyes in our direction. He said, "I'm here because of my Father's will and not the least of my election." All tough cowboys who exist on these plains had better steady their hands and steeds, for lying before you in its pitiful horror are the remnants of Satan's seeds. He planted these beasts in every star system where life might inhabit, and leave it to those dagnab fools to reproduce like a bunch of rabbits. UFOs and all vessels of that like are nothing but the lowest of creature, and in future years you'll see their faces in a bunch of magazine features. God doesn't mind their stupid abuse if they leave you cowboys alone, but tonight those beasts crossed an unspoken line, and I'm prepared to cast a stone with that Jesus Christ graphed to sharp-edged rock and approach the flaming wreck. And Bob and I somehow knew in our souls he was about to give them heck. We averted our eyes, 'cause violence by Christ was about our darkest wish. Yet, with ears wide open, our hearts grew lighter as we heard a terrible swish. And then Jesus Christ gave a playful little wink and flew his horse back up to heaven. And Bob and I wondered if soon in the sky we'd see horses numbered in 7. I wish I could say we heard Christ's advice and followed it to the T. But Bob and I were tough old boys, which of course vengeance we seek. So every night on Roswell's hills, we scope these desert plains to our wives and friends. We've not yet bothered any lame attempt to explain how demons from space, for no reason at all, smoked our hapless buddy Dan. For the love of Christ, and I mean that literally, I don't think anyone can.